Hey friends, I'm so glad you're here. I want to talk today about what I think is just the best communication hack you can use in your everyday life. Whether you're at work, at home, in your relationships, like using this little simple tool could revolutionize your conversation. I don't know about you, but have you ever stuck your foot in your mouth by just like saying something that either came out the wrong way or maybe came out at the wrong time, or maybe it just wasn't even any of your business, but you just felt like chiming in on it? Or maybe you struggle with holding things back and you don't share anything. You're like, should I speak up at this work situation? Should I say anything to my friend about this thing that I'm seeing in their life? We have a lot of bad experiences in terms of communication where either we stick our foot in our mouth or we just hold everything back. And so I want to give you a tool that's going to help you answer those questions really firmly and clearly for yourself. Because here's kind of the big idea, is that sometimes we say the right thing at the wrong time. I was reading this interview with comedian Craig Ferguson, and he was talking about his relationships, and he was talking about the fact that he had been married 3 times, and it took him a long time to figure out like how to share and what to share. And he said he used these 3 questions, and this is the hack. This is the tool that I want to teach you. These 3 questions. And he said these 3 questions transformed everything for him in terms of what he shared and what he held back. And so here are the 3 questions. Number 1, does this need to be said? Does it need to be said at all, right? So ask that first question. The second question, does this need to be said by me? Does it need to be said by you? Are you the right bringer of that message or insight or critique? It may not be. There may be other people more qualified to say it than you. And then does this need to be said by me now? Maybe another way to think about it is like this. First, again, the first question, a little megaphone here. Does this need to be said? Ask yourself, is this important enough, or is this maybe a trivial matter? Second thing is, am I the right person? Does it need to be said by me? A lot of times you think that you're the world's coach, maybe, or you're the world's critic, and you need to just volunteer all kinds of information because, of wrongs that you see or mistakes people make or blind spots that people have. And maybe you aren't the right candidate to be that person's coach. And then finally, timing. A little clock here. Is it the right time to have this conversation? Or maybe we need to hold it for now and address it later on. I know for myself, like I just have used this over and over and again, and it has saved me so much heartache. But probably the big question in terms of these 3 questions is maybe this 4th question. And this is a good filter. If I don't say this now, will I regret it? So maybe if you hold it back, would you have any regrets that you didn't speak up or say something? That's probably the 4th question that you need to ask yourself in terms of the 3 questions. If I hold this back, if I just don't say anything, if I bite my tongue, am I going to regret this in the future? So let me give you a couple stories and scenarios. So imagine you have an acquaintance at work. You work together, you know each other, but maybe you're not really close. And this person's being really sarcastic with the people around them and maybe being really cynical and kind of mean spirited. And you're noticing this, and kind of everybody in the office notices it, but you barely know him. And so the first question you'd ask is like, does this need to be said? Well, I think, if someone's being sarcastic and kind of mean spirited, yeah, it probably needs to be said. But then the second question, does this need to be said by me? Well, address and kind of assess the relationship that you have with him. Are you his boss? Are you his director? Are you the right person in his life to bring this kind of insight to say, hey, man, you've been really kind of negative lately? And then finally, does it need to be said right now? Maybe this is a conversation that needs to happen, in a one-on-one situation, not in the open. Maybe there needs to be a specific time that needs to be set down because it's a pretty serious issue. You see, again, identifying whether it needs to be said, whether you're the right person to say it in the right time will help you navigate this situation at work. Or maybe this situation, maybe you have a friend who is late to lunch all the time. Always late. Always, all of us probably have a friend like that. And they're like 15 to 30 minutes late, and you're sitting there at the table waiting for your friend once again. Okay, let's run the 3 questions. Does it need to be said? I think so, right? That's kind of a big deal, to leave a friend waiting for 15 to 30 minutes to be habitually late. Yeah, I think this might be a topic that we need to talk about. Does it need to be said by me? Well, yeah, probably, because I'm the one being wronged by waiting around for 30 minutes. And so it's impacting me at a pretty big impact. And so I need to press into that. I'm like, yeah, it does need to be said by me. And does it need to be said right now? Well, maybe, yeah, now is a good time because it's actually happening. And this is the best time to address the real issue in the moment. So saying it stronger means saying the right thing at the right time by the right person. Listen, if you want to level up your relationships and in your communication, use these 3 questions every single time. Does this need to be said? Does this need to be said by me? And does this need to be said by me right now? Hey, thanks for being with us today. If you've enjoyed this, I encourage you to share it with a friend, email the link to somebody, and we'll see you next time.